Let's start with our first news. Daniel Cormier was highly impressed with Carlos Prates' TKO win over JDM. He believes that performance showed two clear things. Prates is ready for a UFC championship, and he has truly learned. In the past, when he headlined against JDM, he froze under the spotlight of a main event. That fight against Garry showed clear struggles, and even though Garry is an absolute stud, Prates did not perform. There were moments fans questioned his readiness, with online criticism and doubts about whether he could handle pressure. But this time, everything changed completely. At the weigh-ins, tension was high as Carlos Prates and JDM exchanged words and energy, showing real intensity. When the fight started, Prates delivered a performance that looked calm, focused, and absolutely championship-ready. Daniel Cormier emphasized that this version of Prates is not the same fighter we saw before. He is now more composed, more dangerous, and fully prepared for the biggest challenges in the division. According to Cormier, the evolution proves Prates can compete at the very top level in the UFC. This win has completely shifted the narrative around him, turning doubt into belief among fans and analysts. Prates is no longer seen as just a prospect, but as a legitimate contender for gold. This was a statement performance that may have earned him a future title shot in the welterweight division. For Daniel Cormier, the message is clear. Prates has arrived at the elite level, and the UFC must now take him seriously as a championship threat. Every performance like this only strengthens his position in the rankings and brings him closer to a potential title opportunity. The welterweight division has been officially put on notice after this breakthrough moment. No doubt at all here. Now move on to another news. At the Stardalex Pereira's coach Paulino Cruz were all caught up in a huge parking lot brawl this weekend. Patry was originally scheduled to face Shaz Ren at Karate Combat 61, but things already got heated during their face-off, turning physical before the fight even happened. But it didn't stop there. On the morning of the fight, Ren and his team reportedly pulled up to the fighter hotel and ambushed Pitbull's team with water guns. That quickly escalated with Pitbull's team chasing them out to the parking lot where everything completely broke down. Both teams started throwing punches and kicks, with multiple fighters getting involved. At one point, Patricky gets clipped with a shot, then accidentally takes down his own teammate as blood is running down his face. As the chaos continued and fighters ended up grappling on the ground, Paulino Cruz stepped in and tried to calm things down and separate everyone. After suffering a cut near his eye, Patricky was ultimately pulled from the fight by the Florida State Athletic Commission, who also handed out suspensions to several fighters involved. Interestingly, Shazabe Ren wasn't suspended since he was reportedly back at the hotel during the main brawl. Karate Combat found him a replacement opponent, and he still went out there and retained his title with a knockout win. The incident sent shockwaves through the MA community as footage of the chaos spread rapidly online. Fans were stunned to see professional fighters involved in such a wild altercation outside the cage. Officials immediately stepped in to restore order and prevent further escalation at the venue. Security presence was increased as tensions remained high throughout the event. Despite the controversy, Karate Combat continued the event schedule without further interruptions. Organizers later confirmed that disciplinary action would be reviewed for all involved fighters. The situation remains one of the most talked about incidents in recent combat sports history. It highlighted how quickly emotions can spiral out of control when rival teams collide. Many analysts believe stricter rules may be introduced after this explosive incident. For now, the focus shifts back to competition. But the impact of this brawl will be felt across the sport for weeks ahead. Fighters, coaches, and commissions alike are now under scrutiny as fans demand accountability and control moving forward. After this shocking night of violence in Karate Combat scene continues unfolding, move on to another news at the start. Jon Jones thanked Daniel Cormier for helping him. Jones and Daniel Cormier will always be known for having one of the most intense and greatest rivalries in MMA history. But nearly a decade later, it looks like the hatred they once had for one another might be finally fading. In a recent episode of Alf Jon was wrestling with the fighter in the house living room, and as he was about to get swept to the ground, DCL held him up since there were tables and furniture in the vicinity. Then, later in the episode, as the two reflected on the light-hearted scuffle, DC informed Jones that it was him who stopped him from falling and possibly hitting his head. DC said, "The person that held you up when you were falling, that was me." Jones replied, "Just now." "Thank you." Then DC jokingly responded with, "I should have let you bust the back of your head." Could we get to a point where these two maybe become friends? Never say never, right? UFC updates as we just wrapped up UFC Perth. Oh boy, we have a great fight week ahead with UFC action continuing to build momentum across the sport as fans look ahead to more massive matchups being discussed behind the scenes. The moment between Jones and DC stood out because it showed a rare glimpse of respect between two former enemies who once defined the sport with their rivalry. What makes this even more surprising is how intense their history was inside the octagon, with both fighters exchanging wins controversy and unforgettable moments that shaped UFC history. Now seeing them share a light and humorous exchange has sparked conversations among fans about whether true closure is finally happening between them. DC in particular has often spoken about growth, maturity, and moving past old rivalries, while Jones has also shown a more relaxed attitude in recent appearances. This interaction may not erase the past, but it certainly adds a new chapter to one of MMA's most legendary stories in combat sports history. Whether it leads to friendship or just mutual respect remains to be seen, but fans are definitely watching closely as both legends continue their journeys beyond rivalry inside and outside the cage. This moment highlights how time can soften even the fiercest competition in sports history. Always evolving, move on to another news at the start. Carlos Prates will be in attendance for Islam Makhachev versus Garry. Carlos Prates defeated JDM via TKO in the third round. Islam Makhachev reacted saying, "Good job, Nutella cake." During the fight, Garry said, "I hope Carlos Prates punches JDM's lights out." He continued, "Jack is done. He doesn't want to be there. Carlos, give me the big KO. Put a knee up the middle, please, Carlos." After the fight, Garry added, "Carlos, after I beat Islam, you and I in Brazil, let's do it." Prates says Islam Makhachev will fight Garry at UFC 330 on August 15th, and he will be in attendance. He also revealed what he said to JDM after taking him down in the first round. This victory added another highlight to Prates' rising profile inside the division and strengthened his position among top contenders. The reaction quickly spread across social media, sparking debates among fans about his unusual but confident comment. The exchange between fighters highlighted the growing tension and entertainment surrounding the upcoming UFC 330 main event storyline. Prates explained, "Yeah, let's do this. I hope he beats Islam. It's a really hard fight, but he has skills to beat Islam. Let's go. I will be there watching. The fight is 2 days before my birthday, so I will ask UFC as a birthday gift to bring me to the fight," he added. "I was not worried about takedowns. A lot of people will say how I can fight Islam after being dropped by JDM. When he came for takedown, I opened my arms like, now you become a wrestler. I'm not scared of takedowns. I'm a BJJ black belt." Garry's words also fueled anticipation for a future clash with Prates, especially if both continue winning in their respective paths. His presence at the event is expected to draw attention from media alike. This moment further explained his confidence in grappling exchanges during the fight. Prates continued, "He was bleeding, and I was talking to him like, now you want to wrestle." He was also talking back to me. His confidence in grappling exchanges remained a key talking point after the bout. Analysts noted that Bilal Muhammad's prediction added credibility to the outcome and performance analysis. Move on to another news at the start. New UFC fights announced at UFC Baku as multiple matchups have been confirmed across divisions. DSK MMA reported on X that heavyweight bout between Rizan Kunev and Tyrell Fortune is set for June 27th. Kunev enters the fight after a unanimous decision win over Jelton Almeida in February. He previously lost a split decision to Curtis Blades last June and holds a 3-1 record with one no contest in his last 5 outings. Fortune comes in off a unanimous decision victory over Marcin Tibra at UFC Seattle in his debut performance. This is a big opportunity for Fortune as he could break into the top 10 heavyweight rankings in just his second UFC appearance. He is currently ranked number 11 while Kunev sits at number 8 in the division. Another lightweight matchup has also been booked for the Baku card between Mateusz Kamo and Nazim Sadikov. Kamo earned a unanimous decision win over Vyacheslav Borchev in November, but previously suffered a submission loss to Gabe Green in his UFC debut. He holds 4 wins and 1 loss in his last 5 fights, showing solid consistency inside the cage. Nazim Sadikov is looking to rebound after a loss to Farzam in December, which ended his impressive 12-fight winning streak. The loss snapped his long momentum, but he now looks to get back on track in this upcoming lightweight clash. Following his win over Beneil Dariush at UFC Perth, attention continues to grow around upcoming UFC matchups being announced across multiple divisions. Fans are already reacting strongly to the Baku card as both heavyweight and lightweight divisions continue to see important shifts in rankings and opportunities. Kunev versus Fortune is being viewed as a key matchup that could reshape the top tier of the heavyweight division depending on the outcome of the fight night. Meanwhile, the lightweight clash between Camo and Sadikov adds further depth to the card, with both fighters looking to make a statement. With momentum building across UFC events, this announcement adds more anticipation as fight fans look ahead to another action-packed night in Baku. Each matchup carries high stakes for rankings and future title contention, making this one of the most closely watched upcoming fight cards in recent memory across both divisions. UFC continues to expand its global schedule with major events planned ahead. Now worldwide, move on to another news at the start scene. Brady thinks Islam Makhachev is going to run through Garry. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Brady said Islam's coming up from lightweight really threw a wrench into everything. And then obviously him winning threw an even bigger wrench. The division is kinda weird. Who is Morales gonna fight next? It's a crazy division, but it's one of the best, and hopefully everything keeps moving. There's a lot of big fights coming up that will keep us moving. As far as who is going to win that fight, Islam is going to run through Ian. Simple as that. He's going to sub him for sure. Brady went on to explain that Islam Makhachev's dominance at lightweight has completely reshaped expectations in the welterweight division, especially if he continues pushing forward against top contenders. He believes Islam's grappling, control, and fight IQ make him a nightmare matchup for anyone in the division, regardless of size or experience. He also pointed out that the current welterweight landscape is filled with uncertainty, with rising contenders constantly shifting rankings and forcing new matchups that nobody fully expected at the start of the year. According to Brady, fighters like Garry are improving quickly, but stepping into a fight with Islam is a completely different level of pressure. He emphasized that elite experience in championship rounds and grappling exchanges will be the deciding factor, and in his view, Islam has already proven that at the highest level. Brady also suggested that fans might be underestimating how quickly Islam can adapt to a new division, especially after dominating lightweight for so long. He added that the welterweight division is currently one of the most exciting in the sport, with constant movement and potential title implications in every major fight. Brady believes matchups are getting harder to predict, but when it comes to Islam versus Garry, the gap in experience and control will be too much to overcome. He described Islam as a fighter who can dictate pace, neutralize striking threats, and force opponents into uncomfortable positions from the very first round. Daniel Cormier was also discussing the same situation, breaking down how Islam's presence changes the entire structure of the division and creates new challenges for everyone involved as anticipation continues to build across the UFC landscape. Move on to another news at the start, unfortunate news. Jaka Viklats was supposed to fight Marcus McGee on June 6th, but he's announced that it's no longer happening due to an injury. In a post on IG, he posted an image of himself with his arm in a sling. The moment I didn't expect has arrived. Injury prevents me from fighting and training for a while. I am now focused on recovery. I just need a moment to fix myself and come back even stronger. I will come back with double the force. Here's to wishing Vlats a full and speedy recovery. Next up, multiple clips of Alex Pata training and sparring ahead of his fight with Cyril Gann have been showcasing intense striking sessions, sharp footwork, and heavy sparring rounds as preparation builds for a massive showdown against Cyril Gann. Alex Pata looks focused, disciplined, and determined to make a statement in the division, with coaches pushing him through high-paced drills ahead of fight. Night no delay now here.